our first module, Reviving Our Dreams. Whatever we love, let's do it. One day, it dawned on me rather abruptly. I realized that this is my life right now. And if I want to do something, I better stop procrastinating and do it. I realized that no one was going to see that I fulfilled my heart's desires except me. Uh-oh, here we are, another of my favorites. Here's a trip to the attic to open the trunk of forgotten dreams. Our practice, our trunk of forgotten dreams. In our mind's eye, let's climb the stairs to the attic and take out the old trunk of our forgotten dreams. Let's unlock it and lift the heavy lid. There are our dreams folded away. Let's take them out one by one, hold them up to the sunlight coming in through the attic window. Let's shake the dust from each one and ask ourselves, is this a dream I want to fulfill? If the answer is yes, let's put the dream in the fulfill pile. If the answer is no, we can set it aside. Then we go out and begin to fulfill our dreams one by one. Just for fun, here were some of my dreams. With my then 15-year-old daughter, I bought a 71 VW bus and drove it around the country. 17,000 miles in 3.5 months, touching all 4 corners, jumping in every river, lake, and both oceans. As a kid, I wanted to be a truck driver. I drove a 20-foot truck, not big, but big enough for me. And let me tell you, from San Francisco to the Mississippi, sleeping in the cab, having biscuits and gravy with the truckers in the mornings. While I was growing up, my dad rebuilt every house we lived in. I bought an old house, and my son, who had just graduated from college, and I bought the best power tools we could find, pulled the house apart, and rebuilt it inch by inch. And finally, the most challenging part of my ideal day to fulfill was my wish to swim in natural warm water. If I were going to do that every day, it would be perfect to live in Hawaii. It took some time, as dreams often do, but I've had many years of swimming in the warm ocean every day as a result of holding that dream in my heart and doing the footwork to open the way. Dreams, big or small, it doesn't matter. What dreams sleep in our past? Let's make a list. Then let's begin to fulfill our dreams one by one. Only we can revive our dreams and live them. None of us really knows what will happen next in life, even what will happen in the next 5 minutes. If we go for it and take a risk, what will happen? We don't know, but it could be great. It's simple. Perhaps we haven't thought about our dreams for a long time. To make the choice to live fully doesn't have to take a long time or be difficult. Perhaps we're already living our dreams, or perhaps just a small change will bring us into the realm of fulfillment. We may have dreams we have buried, as I did. Even if major changes are called for, it still may be so liberating as to be easy to make the changes we need to live as we've always wished. Or it may be extremely challenging to see our way to where we are called to go. Perhaps all we can do is to take one tiny step in the direction of our dream, and then another, and another. We are the ones who can decide to change direction. As if we're walking down a road, we realize we're going the wrong way. We can turn around, turn left or right, veer off at the Y. We can create the life we dream of. Let's make the commitment to know ourselves. What do I like? What do I want? What do I love? Let's write it down. Let's begin to live it. We can fine-tune our lists. Even if a chasm appears, we can walk confidently toward what we love. Let me tell you a story about Indiana Jones. This was one of my favorite images from movies all through the years. So Indiana Jones is, in its cave, as I recall, and he's being chased by, quote unquote, the bad guys. And he comes to a chasm, and he sees that he cannot jump across that chasm. There's no way, it's too far. And they're coming closer and closer behind him. And he shrugs his shoulders a little bit, as he's wont to do, and he takes a step. He steps out onto this chasm, and suddenly a bridge appears under his feet. He walks confidently across the bridge. The bridge disappears, and there are the bad guys left on the other side of the chasm, and there he is. I love that image, and it does call me forward. Even if a chasm appears, we can walk confidently toward what we love. We don't need to be bound by the limitations we ourselves or someone else may have set for us. We can let ourselves dream the wildest and biggest dreams we can envision. Let's hold the possibility close to our hearts that we can and will live the reality of those dreams. I was surprised to find that the word desire comes from two roots, D, from, and sire, the Father. Desire comes from the higher power. Pure and simple, we are meant to fulfill our desires. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. Perhaps it's time to listen carefully and follow the voice we hear. Our inner knowing will guide us. There is no need to force life to give us what we think we want. If we set our sails to catch the wind and stay steady on our course, we will either arrive where we are headed or perhaps someplace even better. Whatever we can envision, we can claim and allow ourselves to move forward. When we keep our focus on our dreams and refuse to settle for less for ourselves, we may be amazed at where life will lead us. Having dreams isn't enough, of course. Living in the realm of vague, otherworldly wishes and fantasies doesn't create a life of fulfillment. Living our dreams means making them concrete. Here's our dream practice. Living our dreams. Let's choose a dream from our list and claim it as our own. We can establish a clear goal and picture it. Where would we like to be? In a temple in Bali, or on a sailboat in the Caribbean? Sitting at the desk in our new office with our dream job before us? Standing at our easel on the beach, painting a picture of a child playing in the waves? Gently, let's hold this picture in our minds. Let's eliminate anything within ourselves which says no, or I don't deserve this. We can tenderly cultivate the dream in ourselves. We can allow the goal to develop and mature in its own time without trying to push it. Best of all, we can do one tiny thing each day in the direction of fulfilling our goal. We can Google more information, reach out to an expert, retrieve our painting materials from the back of the cupboard, write a list, tack a travel brochure on the wall. When what we dream of manifests, let's rejoice in its fulfillment. We can say, thank you. Being our own selves is a noble act. It's also an art. It often happens that when we commit ourselves to doing what we love, our creativity and imagination awaken and open. The limits we have placed on ourselves disappear. We find ourselves doing what we had thought impossible. And those things don't have to be huge, life-altering changes to make a qualitative difference in our enjoyment of life. We can hug a tree, walk in a stream, jump in the ocean, mess about in small boats, ride a bike. Whatever we love, we can do it. What did we love as a child? Let's go back to our love to-do list. Our loves are often simple things. Let's do this practice. Doing what we love. Let's select one day. We can go back to the list of everything we love for the Into Me I See practice. Let's reread our list and add anything that's come up since we wrote it. This is our list of what we love from the silly to the sublime. We can keep the list handy and add to it throughout the day. The next day, let's do something from our list. We can write the date in our notebook. The next day, let's do 2 things from our list. And so on. Let's see how many of the things we love we can put in a day. Let's have fun with it. Let's keep our list of loves close by. We can change it, add to it. We can fill our day with loves. What a fun do together this is. After comparing our loves, we can do those things we both love together with our partner, again keeping the date, adding more, filling our days with love. There's no limit to what we can dream up, and there's no limit to what we can do. Reviving our dreams can be an exhilarating experience, and we can become inspired by someone else. Let's share our dreams and our loves with our partner in the art of conversation. We can inspire each other to live lives crafted by our dreams. As I see it, living life is an act of love, and loving life is an act of grace. This life has been freely given to us. There is so much to be grateful for. We don't know what is going to be called for in our lives. If we want to heal the past and live this full, wonderful life, we have to remain awake. To live fully and be responsible for what we think, do, and say, we have to be alert and vigilant. Whatever our life situation is, whatever our job or other challenges, we can work to strengthen the qualities of clarity, serenity, and careful attention in ourselves. First, we can stop, look, and listen, just like kids. Then we can respond. We can open our hearts and minds to develop our intuition so it can help us discern our next right step. It takes time, but the journey is worth it. Let's hold in our hand the idea that what needs to change can change, and we can be happy. Magic is afoot. As I said, being ourselves is a noble act. When we live with purpose simply and attentively, we find ourselves willing to make changes as each day emerges from the day before. One way to be fully ourselves is to stop and rethink what we think, say, and do. What fits with me? What is mine? If our inner voice is saying, "Hey, sweetie, let's go for it. The dreams are rising and calling. Come on, let's take the risk and go after them. Let's see where our dreams lead. We can do it." As we become more true, we'll find ourselves asking what to keep, what to discard. An easy way to discern is to ask, what brings me joy? We won't always know ahead of time. What if we try something new, see if it's a good fit? What if we open ourselves to take a chance and see whether we've arrived in a joyful place? Our dreams are out there walking ahead of us. Let's follow them and see where they lead. Dear ones, we each can and must follow our star. The clamoring of the crowd would always have us hold back, fall into step, join this group or that, take up the collective song. Let's not be seduced. What is the way to lasting happiness and a sense of fulfillment? Happiness is the byproduct of living true, of honoring and following our dreams to their conclusions. Perhaps most of us have spent years trying to fit into the society we live in. We've tried fulfilling other people's ideas about what we should do and how we should be in the world. We may have done this long enough to know it doesn't work. I believe we can rest in knowing that our true selves will never stop calling us our whole lives long. If we listen to the call and say yes, there is no telling where our journey will take us. Certainly, all lives have their ups and downs. If we refuse to listen to our hearts and keep trying to make ourselves fit the mold society has prepared for us, I believe we will experience mounting frustration and be more cut off from ourselves as time goes on. There is a wellspring of creativity and intelligence within each of us. As we allow our creativity to surface and express itself, we may be happy to find that the joy of living becomes our everyday experience. Shall we walk home to ourselves and find our place, our own village in this life? Please listen to the next module.